My name's Zio, and I guess we'll talk about 2024 and, of course, 2025. 2024, as you may have guessed, was a somewhat challenging year for us NGS content creators. My channel grew a fair bit, but that was mostly from older videos. The last few PSO2 videos that I put out on here over the past 4 months have gotten decidedly tepid responses. I guess it could be chalked up to dwindling player base due to slow content, lack of story, other games, this, that, and the third, 4, 5, 6, shooty-doo-wop. It hasn't been all gloom and doom though. SEGA put out a New Year's greeting talking about everything that happened over the past year and some of the stuff that's coming down the pike this year. Happy New Year! Thank you for playing PSO2 and PSO2 New Genesis version 2, NGS version 2 over the past year. We truly appreciate your commitment to the game and your fellow ARCs. It's already been 3 years since the launch of NGS. This winter we are currently celebrating our 3.5th anniversary event, the Super Genesis Festival. In 2024, we released Chapter 6 of the main story in February and introduced Darkfall's Dalion in April. I would have said the conclusion of Chapter 6 because that actually started the previous year. Chapter 6 was okay, it felt more slice of life than anything else. Dalion I felt was a step in the right direction since they rolled out the Wingguard weapons at the same time. It addressed a major issue those fights had with not having any meaningful loot to go along with them. The fight itself was fun, despite not being able to play as your class for about a third of it. In May, we held our 3rd anniversary event, Alpha Super Origin Festival. From June onward, we rolled out major updates. The long-awaited new field, Nameless City, the card game Lion Strike in July, and the new action system Mars in August. July 31st, but what's a day? Nameless City's pretty fun, and it's especially enjoyable when you have a full room of 32 just mowing down everything efficiently. Mars I think is pretty cool, but even post Hydra nerf, it's still Hydra cannon go boom. Lion Strike I thought was okay-ish, but I was never really a collectible card game person. I know there's a subset of the player base that enjoys the shit out of it. Then in October, we implemented Animatica Face, a significant update for players who enjoy the cell shading feature. From December to February, we'll be launching our first titled update in a while, Festival of Light and the Dark Tyrant. Until February 5th, enjoy the Festival of Light, our 3.5th anniversary event, Super Genesis Festival. We'll also have super fantastic campaigns to express our gratitude to our ARCs. This is the perfect time for both new and returning players to jump in. Please take advantage of this opportunity to play NGS version 2. Additionally, Ruin Masquerade is coming in January. Darkfall's Vial, our first new large boss enemy in quite some time, arrives in February. Thanks to all ARCs, we will be celebrating the 4th anniversary of NGS, the 13th anniversary of PSO2, and the 25th anniversary of the PSO series this year. As you may have seen in the previous NGS headline, there are many updates in store for this year. All of our team members will make every effort to ensure that everyone continues to enjoy the game. We hope you have a great new year with PSO2 New Genesis version 2. So one thing they left out is this is going to be the 5th anniversary of PSO2 being available internationally. That seems like a pretty big milestone, wouldn't you say? This is a pretty important year, not just for NGS but for Phantasy Star in general. The roadmap they showed us last headline looked somewhat scant, with February and March doing most of the heavy lifting. They didn't really show their hand as much as they did in previous years. Like with Creative Spaces in 2023, they showed us a couple things at the tail end of the previous year. And then with Nameless City, they showed us a little trailer in December of 23. For the latter half, they said something about a new field and a new action system and more story to go with that. My inner Alex Jones tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist wants to say that they're cooking up the real PSO3. So what's supporting this? Well, this is the 25th anniversary of the PSO series. PSO2 was announced in 2010, which was the 10th anniversary of PSO. I've said this before, and a lot of folks have suggested that they're pretty much in for a penny, in for a pound. They have over a decade of cosmetics and stuff between base PSO2 and NGS, and they don't want to alienate their current customer base, which I can understand. I do think they have something up their sleeves though. Even though JP is mostly satisfied with things besides the slow story, I really feel like they need to step it up here. They have some pretty huge competition, and even more coming down the pike. Capcom's getting ready to roll out Monster Hunter Wilds next month, and I know a lot of people have been looking forward to that. And then you've got China, who's been making some waves in the free-to-play space over the past 5 or so years. And then on the western side, you have Path of Exile 2 and Ashes of Creation on the horizon. Probably not so much those two, as they don't quite fit into the whole anime waifu thing. They're really gonna have to knock our socks off here. I've been around this community long enough to know that these games have always taken 2 or 3 years to truly hit their stride. But here's the thing though, and I don't like saying this, and I know I've mentioned this on stream a handful of times. This has been bugging me for a little while now, but I can't help but feel that Phantasy Star has taken me about as far as it's going to in terms of channel growth. Don't get it twisted, I still love the game to pieces, and I have incredible friends to hang out with still. My goal for this year is 4,000 over here on YouTube and 1,500 on Twitch. I feel like anything beyond that would require some pretty drastic changes. I'd have to completely drop NGS altogether. But after 5 years and gaining a somewhat decent understanding of how things work here, I know that would put me in the doldrums for a few months while YouTube systems figure out what the hell to do with me. I've had non-Phantasy Star videos not do so well at first, then pop off after a while. Conversely, I've had PSO2 videos totally flop. Like the last few headline videos since August, those have received very tepid responses. There were a couple that didn't even get 300 views. On the Twitch side, things have been hit or miss outside of community events. Sometimes it'd be slow the first hour or so, then start to pick up, and then start to taper off during the last hour or so of the stream. And then other times, unless a couple regulars roll up, it's like super slow, like echo. I'm not really sure how to fix that, or if that's even possible. I think a lot of that is external factors like state of the game, state of the platform, PST prime time when a good chunk of your viewer base is on the other side of the country. It's kind of frustrating, and it's starting to feel like things are reverting to how they were when I first started this. Here's the thing though, none of the up-and-coming competitors really grabbed my interest. I've tried Monhun in different iterations over the years, but for whatever reason, I just could never really get into it. Wilds probably won't be any different. Then there's that one anime waifu GTA game, Ananta, I think it's called. I know there's some buzz around that with all the hype surrounding GTA 6, which is probably going to get pushed back till 2026. There's still too little information about that one. Another thing I want to do this year is slow down on the drinking. There were times when I would be like 6 or 7 shots deep before starting a stream, and it made me into a total idiot. In some cases, I would just fall asleep and not stream altogether. It just wasn't a good look. So, what can you expect on the YouTube side of things? I do plan on bringing back the opinion videos since people did enjoy those. We'll still do the long-form retrospective videos. I know people really enjoy those. Speaking of which, I haven't forgotten about the PSO1 video, just that I've had waxing and waning motivation to work on the script these past few months. Maybe my future with this shit is actually in the past. Fuzzy socks, I don't know. Anyway, I think that about covers things. I hope you have a blessed day and a blessed 2025. And remember, to thine own self be true. Until next time, farewell.